Hello, thanks for clicking on this video. I'm going to talk a little bit about my history with World of Warcraft, I guess, through my current character list. It's currently 8:26 in the morning Pacific time, Sunday, August 17th, 2025. Um, so this is my oldest character on my account. The first character I ever made was with my cousin on her account, probably back in either 2005 or 2006. I don't remember exactly. I made a little dwarf warrior, ran around the starting area for a couple hours, and between her and one of my closest friends, they got me into the game and been playing off and on ever since then. Just about 20 years, I guess. Um, so this is my first character. This is most games I often play a human and a warrior. Even if there's a bunch of different races and things to choose from, humans tend to be like the starting point for me. Just, what's the perspective of the world of humans? And then if I take to the world or the game, then I'll start playing other races and stuff as I get a feel for what kind of themes or cultures that the other races are pulling from. And I choose a warrior just generally they have more health, so it makes it a little easier to roam the world, get into trouble, and possibly make it out of it alive. Um, so that's why I typically go for human warriors. Uh, so this is the first character I ever made on this account. Played it for a very long time. The game had been out for a while when I played, so my friend I think was already max level or just about it. So I spent many hours just grinding. Because back then, questing and dungeons and stuff weren't really a whole lot of experience. It took a whole lot of time to do. So I just thought the most efficient way is just find a spot where enemies respawn and there isn't too many other people and just grind it out. So I probably did that for just about 2 or 3 weeks straight and got to 40 or level 40 or 50 at the time. The cap was 60 at that time. So really just put a lot of time into spamming the same enemy. I remember like certain areas like in Stranglethorn Vale, grinding that till like 1 in the morning, or certain areas in Tenaris like the ogres. Just there's a couple of spots that probably don't even exist anymore because this is before Cataclysm. You probably could do it in Classic WoW or whatever, but yeah, spent a lot of time just grinding. Um, the name Sindar, I don't remember why I came up with that name or where it came from. A lot of people, the guild I was in, they would shorten it to Lucy, so I was known as a Lucy on this character. Um, I have not logged into this character in a very long time. Definitely before Cataclysm, which is when they changed all the old world stuff. So maybe at the end of this video, I'll go and log in and kind of see where he is and what kind of stuff he's got in his bags, things like that. Uh, so at the time, level 60 was the highest. There was a dungeon set you could get. You can see most of the pieces I'm wearing are a part of this dungeon set. Um, so once you could start doing that, I think like level 56 or something, that's kind of all I would do is with the guild. We would just go in and run these dungeons, and I would tank it and try to get the pieces of this armor set. I didn't really think I would get into raiding very much, certainly not at that time. It was like 40 man, and it seemed like a big commitment, so I didn't really. This was the ultimate for me, was getting that dungeon set, and I got pretty far. I think I got like 6 out of 8 pieces, and I think this is an epic shield, which is, at that time getting an epic was crazy. I think it was just a random drop. I don't remember how I got it. I remember running the same dungeon for this sword specifically many times. I was very happy when I got it. So I don't know what this helmet is. It's very different. Maybe they changed the model on something, but I remember being pretty happy with this character before I moved on to other ones. I don't remember why we did move on to other characters. My friend was playing a paladin at the time. were able to group up and do some stuff. But eventually we moved off that server and found a different group of friends. And actually did get into raiding a little bit, but it was not on this character. So this character is actually my sister's character, probably her second one, I think. So she saw we playing the game and was interested enough to get into it. She took this one pretty far, level 15. Um, so she didn't like it enough to get her own account. So she just kind of, when I was doing other things or at school or whatever, she would make her own character and run around a little bit. So um, this one, I don't remember. I watched her a little bit on this one. I think she spent a lot of time in Thousand Needles, just run around there. I remember that for whatever reason. But yeah, this is her character and something I will never log into unless she's here with me, which may not be for a long time, if ever. This, I think, is my sister's first character. Definitely remember her running around the Night Elf starting area and things like that. Um, I kind of mentioned back in the day, getting experience stuff was kind of difficult. And so if you rest at an inn, if you log out at an inn, you get rest experience, which means when you come back into the game, you kind of have a boost for a little bit to catch up, gain a little bit more experience for each kill. And I remember telling her to make sure to rest at an inn whenever she logs out, and she, listened to my advice, which actually may have been good for her because she was focused on questing. So a lot of times the quest areas would be quite far from an inn. So I think on this character, she probably spent most of her time just running back and forth between the inn and the quest area as opposed to actually playing the game. So probably not the best advice. Sorry about that. Um, this character is one that my wife made. She, I think, was just kind of curious at some point, or there was a part kind of earlier in our relationship. This is before we got married, I think. I was kind of explaining the things I was interested in and seeing if she would be interested in it also. So just kind of made a character with her and kind of walked around with it. You can tell did not go very far. Interest was not very high, but yeah, that's what this character is. This one, I really don't have too much memory. I really like trolls a lot. That's definitely the race that I gravitate to the most in the game now. So this may have been an early attempt at making a troll character. I don't know if they were always able to be mages though, so I could be wrong there. This could be a later character they just didn't click with for whatever reason. Um, so yeah, not much to say about this one. Like the name even, I'm pretty sure that's mine. But I can't think of why I would have thought of that name. This is an anime character that my wife likes. These ones I don't really know if my sister had inspirations for the name. Um, yeah, it could have been like a Tolkien kind of a thing, or just off the top of her head. I'm not sure. This guy again, another just random uh, alt that I made. Uh, I'm pretty sure this was like pre-Cataclysm and stuff, so getting to level 11 is actually kind of a bit of a time investment. Um, it, it, actually, the look is kind of comprehensive, which is kind of a coincidence. Later on, up in my other characters, I actually transmogged them to look a certain way, but this one I have not logged in some time. Zealanda, I think this is just kind of what I think my troll names are kind of silly. So I don't think there's a lot of thought behind it. Just kind of what I thought trolls might name someone, I suppose, in this world. This one also pre-cataclysm, so that I definitely put a little bit of time into it. Tudor, you can already see there's a couple people named Tudor. That's just kind of my default gamer name, I suppose, that I made up at some point. I think I started going by that name more in college. Um, yeah, again, I don't really have too many memories of this character. Did not transmog it. Um, remember if it's a different realm. Smolderthorn. I don't have too many characters on Smolderthorn, so yeah, I don't really know why I made a character there. But I've always been kind of interested in priests. They seem fun, but I just never really take them that far. I just kind of fall off on them. As you can see here, I got another one. So you can, yeah, I didn't really do much. This is probably the only helm this character has because early on in the game, you don't really get a helm right away. Um, yeah, I don't really have much memory of this one either. Probably just running around doing daily quests, interested in priests, and fell off. Squish face. Um, this is with that name. This has got to be a character I made with one of my closer friends. That was a show we were into, C Lab 2020, not 24. No, what is it? I don't remember. Comedy series that we would quote often. Um, and so he probably made a similar character. There's one character I was looking for earlier. I didn't find. I must have deleted it. We definitely went on some random realm. It was probably 2 o'clock in the morning. Um, and it was around the time where Clay Aiken was on American Idol. So it was like Clay Fan 1 and Clay Fan 2 that we made. There were Blood Elves, and we were just running around screaming a general chat about how great Clay Aiken was or whatever. Just really stupid, silly thing we did. I'm pretty sure, I don't remember if we were living together at the time. It definitely was around college time. But yeah, just a silly thing that we did. So this is probably a semi-permanent character because I think we just kind of made those characters and probably ended up deleting those. But Squishface, I think he probably had a similar character and we only would play them when we were on together. Um, and we only got it to level 10, but that's probably what this character is. Slandrel. I have a couple character like if it's like a necromancer or undead character, like Slandrel, like that's kind of the name that I would think of, so I'm not surprised that that's the name here. Um, this guy, Smolderthorn. Okay, Smolderthorn must have been the realm that I had a different set of friends that they were on. I definitely know that they play Horde. So this is probably a character I made to play with them. Um, Mages were fun, but very squishy. I'm pretty sure I made this guy a Frost Mage for more survivability. Um, I think I just kind of did the intro quest and stuff. I don't know if I ever actually got to play with the set of friends over there. The one thing I do remember is people I would run into on the realm. Mages typically have robes or whatever, but this guy has a shirt. And the pants, these actually are pants, but they are so similar to the skin color that people thought I was just running around without pants on. But they would inspect me like, "Oh, you actually are wearing pants." I don't know why. It's such a random people actually look at the models, I guess. But it was more than one just random person I was running around town and be like, "Dude, why aren't you wearing pants?" I'm like, "It's not intentional. I am wearing pants." So that's the one memory I have of this character. All right, this character is just a bank alt, which means it's just a character that you send things to store in their bank. I think they recently changed that where you have these warband banks, like basically it's easier to share items between people, but back in the day it was not. So you'd run out of inventory space and you had to make an alternate to send all your stuff to. This one, you can tell the level. Obviously, I played it a lot more than just as a bank alt. Um, Warlocks is another one like Priests where like I would be interested in how to play it, and it seemed kind of fun at the end game. But leveling up, I just never really had a great time with it. So um, yeah, you can tell this is not really armor, just wearing whatever to. So you can tell for me at a glance when you're clicking on, oh yeah, this is what I made this character for, just to store items. This guy, definitely another one of those characters I made to play with my friend. He had switched to Horde at that point. This is the same friend that got me back into the game on my very first character. So we've both been kind of off and on. And this one time he came back and he was on a different server, so I made this guy to play with him and his guild over there. I don't think I actually was able to because he was a little bit higher level than me. So this is back in the day when leveling was took quite a bit of time. So I remember trying to get up to his level, but I was at that point still with another guild raiding. So this is kind of what I would try to do in my off time. So it never actually got to link up there. But yeah, still had fun with this little guy. A rogue. First rogue I took decently far, pretty sure. Shiniqua, this was just kind of a joke character. The guy that I roomed with when I went to college, he also played WoW. So I'm pretty sure I made this warlock to kind of play with him. Um, that didn't actually end up happening very much. He kind of got into a different group of friends and kind of moved away from WoW a little bit, so didn't take this character very far. But this was before transmog, I'm pretty sure. Um, and this is just the gear that she's wearing. So like, I just kind of got very lucky that it matched her hair. I like this look a lot. This just like cleaver for a warlock. It's a strong look for not planning it and for not transmogging it. This is just a fun little character I like to keep around because it's just fun to look at. Uh, all in all, this has got to be one of my very first alts ever. So back on for my very first warrior, this is my alternate. So um, the name, I'm pretty sure this is high school, so I still would have been using like the Silmarillion or what like Tolkien's like language and stuff. For ideas for names. So I think this means something in Elvish or something, some Tolkien language, but I couldn't tell you what it is now. I remember this being kind of challenging because they just had so low health and trying to quest and stuff in Red Ridge. It was, I'm bringing things back to town for people to try to help me kill it because it was so challenging to kill anything without dying. So I'm pretty sure I was a frost mage. Didn't get very far. I had fun with it, but yeah, didn't take it very far. Uh, Mordson. So the main character that I played, it went by Mordecai. So that's the kind of the name that everyone knew me by. I actually think I changed that character's name, so it's not even named that in my character list anymore. When we'll get to it. Um, so this is like Mordson. Yeah, okay, like the younger alt, like the son. Um, so just a little paladin that didn't take very far, because his kind of axe and shield here. I'm assuming it was to be protection, like a tank again, because that was kind of my main role when we were raiding. But did not take it very far, as you can see. But still kind of a fun look, just like kind of a lower level, like crazy colors mismatched. Like it doesn't even look like I'm wearing chest armor. I must be, but maybe I took it off for some reason. I don't know. Mart, you're gonna see that name show up quite a bit. That's also another one I just like off of my name Mordecai name. From here on out, I think I'm pretty sure I at least went through and transmogged the characters, so they should at least be a little more interesting than just low level, not wearing anything significant. So even if they are low level, I'm pretty sure I made them a little more interesting to look at. This is Death Knight, Worgen. I don't remember doing much with this or what the purpose was. I think Worgens are cool because they're werewolves. You can kind of switch in and out between human form and animal form. When you're in combat, you're always in animal form, but I always thought that was really cool. And Death Knights would start at a higher level back in the day, so perhaps I just wanted to get a Worgen up to a higher level, but I don't really remember playing this guy very much at all. The transmog look here is just kind of a not a gender swap, but like a race swap, kind of a. This is all more of like a troll aesthetic. Like these are, definitely troll things. And having like animal bones and stuff is to me kind of a troll thing. This sword is definitely a troll style thing. So this is meant to be like a troll worgen. So like I guess human wolf troll thing, whatever. I don't know. Just have fun with the transmogs. Kikosha, this one I definitely remember was a character boost. So if you like pre-order the next expansion, at some point they started introducing character boosts, so you can get a new character up ready for the new expansion right away. So I was interested in monks. Don't really know why I chose a blood elf. For maybe the racial was good at that point. Um, but I'm pretty sure I just did the character boost and nothing else. I didn't really play. Like maybe did like the intro quest to the expansion that it was for, um, but really did nothing else. Kikosha, the name is supposed to be similar to Chun-Li's super. Kikosho, I think is what it's called. But that's kind of like where it's from. Because monks in this game, you can see how it can kind of be like a Street Fighter thing, like it's a lot of punches and kicks, but they also have orbs and shit they throw occasionally. Um, so that's kind of where I got the inspiration from there. Transmog, I don't know, just kind of threw something together. I like the little um, big bulb globe orb necklace thing, and that kind of ties in with the little thing in her hair, color-wise. The little things on her arms are part of the chest armor, I believe, and that kind of all goes together pretty nicely. And then the weapons is kind of a purple, and this color is kind of similar. Purple kind of ties into this color around the edges here a little bit, and the gloves a little bit too. So it's kind of a simple transmog, but I do kind of like that one. Deuteros, you see that the name that is again the name that I go by, like my gamer name for a while, for the predominantly. So you'll see that name show up quite a bit. Yeah, it's already down here where I talked about that. Sorry about that. So this guy, I remember Hunters being a lot of fun as an alt. I didn't really think the end game would be fun, but I remember having a lot of fun as an alt. So you'll see quite a number of those too. This is just a simple low-level look. One of the very first cutscenes in the game is of a dwarven hunter. So this is kind of uh, where I got inspiration for doing that. Just like the eye patch. I like the colors of this with the way the hair and stuff kind of blends in there. Simple, but obviously low level kind of look. But I like it. Manovi, that name is from Mass Effect 1 specifically. Um, there's a part where you go uh, on a planet where you have to decide where which one of your team members is going to die. There's a choice you have to make between two. But you are with a Solarian Special Task Force. And for whatever reason, I remember like the captain's speech about like there's three teams like Agor, Jaeto, and Manovi. And I really like the name Manovi that they made up there, so that's always kind of stuck with me for whatever reason. So that's where that name comes from. Don't know why I associate with the Druid, but I did. Night Elf Druid is again a very, uh, you know, what do you call that kind of like stereotypical typing? You think Night Elves and Druids, they kind of go together. Like this is their background, very naturey, obviously. So Druids are obviously get their power from nature, being in tune with nature. So Druids is a fun one. It's the idea of it I like more than the actual gameplay in the game. So um, it's something that I've never really played at the end game very much. Um, this look here, I guess it's supposed to be like just like a red druid. Nothing crazy going on here. Just a couple of red accent pieces. They all look a little leathery, somewhat naturey. Um, Not a strong look, but it's all right. Not too bad. Rembrandt. I have no idea why I chose that name, but I do remember a lot of people giving me shit like, oh, like the toothpaste. So it's not a toothpaste brand that I use, but I definitely became aware of it by choosing that name. I probably meant to invoke or evoke the painter, the name. I must have been into that kind of art style or that era of art at that time. I think this was my first Draenei that I ever made, so this is probably the character I played the most in Burning Crusade when they were announced or released. And I think I also powered through leveling this one quite a bit. So I was probably one of the top 10 first max level Draenei on the realm because I just really powered through it. I don't think there's any way to prove that or anything, but I just remember really setting my mind to it basically. Um, I definitely remember raiding with it through the first few tiers, but I don't think I made it through the whole expansion with this character for whatever reason. I don't know if they just needed me to go back to tanking or I got bored of playing shaman. I don't really know what it was, but yeah, did not play this character as a main for too long. Again, I mentioned I like trolls. This is another kind of like race swap kind of a thing. Like these are to me quite troll. The belt and the shield, 100%. So try to make it kind of like a green troll shaman kind of a look. I dig this helmet quite a bit. It's huge, especially on a tall Draenei. It just makes the character look even bigger. Um, I do prefer wearing skirts or dresses on male Draenei because I feel like the run animation looks quite silly. Um, and even the armor looks just a little weird on their legs. You'll see it a bit further up, but so I like this look quite a bit. That's a fun one. Having fist weapons is also fun too. Not something I always get to do. So Filfe, it's just kind of a joke character. For a while there, my main was a paladin named Filthy. So Filfe was like the pet name some people had for me when I was on that character. So that's what this name is from. Uh, and leveling was much faster at this stage. I don't remember when exactly this was. So it's the number is higher there, but I did not put a whole lot of time into it. Um, so this is just, like an older school, like a transmog of a lower level character, because I don't really have many memories of it. And just kind of a silly name, silly character. Yeah, not much else to it. Kura, I actually made this character quite a while ago, so I remember kind of just grinding enemies in the blasted lands as opposed to like questing and things. So I definitely spent a lot of time on this character, but didn't really go very far. It never was my main or anything like that. Uh, Simple transmog for this one, just kind of blue hair, so decided to go for some more blue pieces. And even the grips here for the daggers are blue. Simple, darker colors as a rogue, kind of more stealthy and stuff. So simple but effective transmog, I think, for this one. Another Manify, another Druid. Is it a Worgen this time? Again, not too many memories of this character at all. Nowadays, the different races have different forms for their animals as druids, which is a cool idea. But when I made these ones, they were just all the same. So I don't have any memories of even like the different forms and stuff. So uh, again, not a bright spot in my memory. So I also made the transmog quite simple because because I have quite a number of characters that I transmog, so I didn't have a whole lot of ideas for all of them. So this one's just kind of just a little simple leather dude with just a mallet. I don't know why I chose a mallet. Lucarn. This guy, I'm pretty sure was my main for a second there. You can see that I don't know. I just don't like that kind of look for the leg. So why I generally like to cover it up when I'm transmogging, but I did not do that here. This mallet here, I remember being proud of that because I think we were one of the first guilds to get this on our server, I want to say. I mean, it wasn't great. Like, people weren't showing it off because it wasn't great to use, so that could be very wrong. But I just remember at one point kind of showing it off, like just going AFK in the main city for whatever reason. It wasn't on this character, it was on a human. I did not play this character specifically until much later. I think I might have mostly PvP'd on this one. I don't really remember where that name came from. It sounded kind of Draenei-ish to me. Maybe there was some character or some name in the game that I took inspiration from. So this, I believe this transmog is mostly the heritage stuff, and I think there will be a couple of gaps, but as we get on, some of the stuff will be more heritage based. So just kind of getting the two different colors of gems here, the helm with the blue there, and then the purple. I most associate Draenei with this color, this gem, this purple. But yeah, the cape kind of is a blending of the two colors a little bit. But not too many memories there, mostly PvP, I think. This character was kind of a bank alt, kind of a joke. I think my goal at some point was to only gain experience by doing non-violent daily quests. So at that point there was like daily fishing quests, and maybe even herbalism quests, I'm not sure. But basically just kind of spending time in Stormwind doing little things. This garb specifically, there was an event right before the Cataclysm where they were going to blow up the old world, where you can like be a cultist, I think, and like proclaim that the end times were upon us. And so this character I kept in that. And to this day, you log in and it has that. So I plan on doing a video of my transmogs and stuff specifically. And so this one will be fun to kind of see. It's kind of like a front and back billboard that's just kind of proclaiming the end times. So that's kind of funny. And the hat, this is like a fisherman's hat. So yeah, it's kind of just the end times cultist with a fisherman's hat. So that's this character. Another Deutero here. Oh, before Mortina, the name is again Mordecai being the main names. This is a female version, if you will. It's just the name there. This one, Night Elf Mage. I think I made this when Night Elves could become mages because that wasn't a thing for a while. So I was like, oh, that's kind of a fun pairing there. Didn't take it very far, but I do remember having fun with it. This look I like quite a bit. Getting the purple in the hair and getting it all kind of silver purpley here. I believe this is the heritage shoulder piece there. Just kind of getting that all in there together. So arcane, the colors obviously associated with purple in this game as well. So that's kind of a nice, very visual representation of a arcane mage to me. So I do like this look quite a bit. The silver hair, the purple in the hair, and just that kind of throughout the process there. Hounddork, I think I like the name Houndoom, like the Pokemon, like the name more than the Pokemon. It's a cool Pokemon, but so this is just kind of, I knew it was going to be a joke character. I took it decently far. And get another Worgen Druid, a pairing that I like, but did not take very far. This look is fun. Just kind of a Tauren kind of a look because these shoulders are very evocative of like the Tauren, classic Tauren look. Um, and this robe is like the tier two, like one of the defining looks of the characters. The current or the recent remaster version of it, which I like quite a bit. So got some extra bark flare and stuff on there. Yeah, just a look that I like. The helm's not super druid-like with the little chain coming off there, but I think it works. I like that. Grail was very little memory of this character. Transmogged it to look kind of like a lower level character because in my mind that's all I played it as was a lower level character. Um, yeah, simple low level look, not many memories associated with it. Deutero, Zandalari Troll, which is probably my favorite race to play as. You'll see a number of those. Kreen Paladin look. At some point, I go through these phases of if I can only play one character, what would it be? And it was going to be this. It was going to be a Paladin because they can heal, they can tank, they can DPS, and it's my favorite race. Um, Obviously didn't pan out, and it's not something I really kind of stick to or think about much anymore. Um, but I remember playing through this in the Shadowlands, I believe, is when I made this character. Um, Look is decent, just a kind of a green plate paladin stuff. Um, I feel like I could make it stronger. Maybe I just don't have the stuff for it, but it's decent. And I remember having fun with this guy. Marquee Mark, um, based on Marky Mark of the Funky Bunch, Mark Wahlberg, who's kind of a piece of crap. Don't really enjoy him very much, but just I don't know, just the name was a fun Marky Mark. Um, the character I don't remember playing very much, but obviously got him quite far. He became my heirloom bank, so to speak. Like I would just park him by the heirloom vendor. Heirlooms are something you would get to help level up your alts. Um, but I think I made this during Warlords of Draenor. So I remember spending some time in the little home base you could make there. So didn't do too much with him, so it just kind of made his look kind of simple. Um, Kind of fitting of a rogue, of a stealth guy. You don't want to be too loud or make your silhouette too big. So yeah, that's what his look is there, and didn't really do too much. Besides, he and eventually became basically like a bank alt. Yeah, Mutakai, another name off of my main name, Mordecai. I had a lot of fun healing as a monk. I switched at the end of Warlords of Draenor. In those last two boss fights, Manaroth and can't remember that last guy's, but if you did it right, it just felt so satisfying. You end with like the perfect amount of mana. Just a ton of fun that last raid there. This is not transmog. This is what I was using at the time. That staff doesn't really look familiar to me at all, but definitely the gear here. This is the tier set of the time and what I was wearing. Um, so yeah, I remember healing with this guy was a ton of fun. And I probably made it for the needs of the raid. Like our raid composition at the time probably needed healer because I don't really remember always thinking that that would be a fun time, but ended up being a blast. So yeah, lots of fun memories raiding on this guy. Slandra, this is just another rogue alt I made apropos of nothing. Um, we were having fun with it, but didn't really do a whole lot with it. I do like this look a lot. This is just a nice, troll rogue look. These things are very troll to me. Kind of the leather and the furs and the bones coming out, and you get you can see the Zandalari markings and stuff through the openings there. So I really like this look quite a bit. Um, but not too many memories of actually playing it. Kleka, um, just another name that I thought was kind of troll-ish or sounding to me. Another one of those characters where I quite like the transmog I made for it quite a bit, but I have like almost no memory of playing it. Just an alt that I would get on and play occasionally. This green and purple look I think is quite strong though. Kind of like I went for like a fell druid. Obviously, that's kind of the design elements of these pieces of armor. But just a blending of the green and the purple, which I always think look good together. And just kind of a gnarly, fell, evil druid kind of a look, which is really fun. Um, yeah, just a fun time there. Filthy. So here's that palette I mentioned earlier. It was my main for some time. I think I was healing on it predominantly. Um, yeah, so just mostly raid memories. This is transmog wise is mostly the human armor, heritage armor set, which obviously goes very well with they have these replica items of like certain heroes in the game. So it's a fun look. I do kind of think there's like a little too much up here. Like the rest of it seemed a little too slight. I just really like this chest piece that has like the armor like guarding the chin neck area, and I wanted to use that in one of the transmogs. So it's a cool look, kind of the darker with the gold. Normally Alliance is like more bright colors. Not that gold isn't bright, but like a white and blue. Just wanted to darken up the heritage a little bit. Heritage look. Yeah. Karita is a hunter. I remember having a lot of. This is the alt that made me realize how fun hunters can be. So I had a lot of fun with that. Um, this pet is nothing special. I just don't remember if I got it as a default and never changed it or what it is, but there's no story behind that. Armor is mostly the Orc Heritage Transmog. Added this little piece in here because it's a hunter, little ammo pouch. This piece is from a different set, that shoulder pad there. But just about everything else is like typical. This is what you would think of like a horde warrior, like this color, the red and the silver there. So it chose a weapon that kind of matches it a little bit. Nothing crazy fancy there. Nice look. I didn't change much aside from the shoulder pad and the chest piece. Mostly just the heritage thing there, but it's still cool. Delegator. Just thought it was a fun name to make a hunter that was a Beastmaster, which means like your pets do most of the work. So that's the name there. He's a Maghar orc, so this is a lot of the Maghar heritage stuff. I really like the way that the orcs, like their animations, their run animation in particular. They get nice big shoulders, so the shoulder pads look bigger than normal. So not a crazy over the top transmog, but I like it quite a bit. Get some of the furs to kind of match a little bit, along with the iron bits of the Maghar. Yeah, fun transmog, fun character. Remember having a lot of fun leveling this guy up to get the heritage armor set. Pet, I don't think was anything special. That doesn't seem like it would be the default, so I must have tamed it. But I don't recall why that one in particular. Maybe there's just a certain ability it had at the time that I wanted. Saucer Fest. So Saucer, like they throw their shield protection paladins too. So this has got to be a protection paladin. So my intention was to just keep throwing the shield as much as possible. Not much memories of leveling up at all. Again, most of this stuff from here out will be the heritage for the race, plus my little twist on it, where I thought we'd try to blend it in together. So definitely the head and the shoulders and the legs and probably the belt and gloves as well are heritage. So the chest is definitely different, and this piece kind of try to blend it in with the overall, just that's straight up paladin piece. Um, I like the axe. The axe aesthetic is really in line with the race for me, like just the crystals and floating off there, and the color nicely matches that stuff here. The shield I don't think matches as well. You get some of the darker tones that kind of fits in. But I really just wanted to put this piece in here because this is like a quintessential shield for the race, but it's kind of splintered and has a couple extra floating pieces, which I like a lot. And the darker color I tried to match it up a little bit. The stones here with the shield and the darker piece here with like the little belt. So it's not totally off base. Um, I guess the shoulder pad too also has a bit of a darker piece of it too. But yeah, not too many memories of playing it. And the transmog is decent. Um, Ducklick. This is a character definitely was my main for a while. I think this was in the era where I was not raiding. It was just a solo play. So just run around as an arms warrior, exploring the new content and the story and things like that. This just went full on troll. I think this is just all heritage armor, to be honest. Maybe the helm is different. Yeah, the helm is different actually. I know that for sure. So just, this is straight up just your troll, dark spear troll. So it's a good look. I like trolls, so that's a fun one. Torino. My wife helped me name this character. Watching My Hero Academia at the time, so I think this is the arc where Gran Torino was introduced. So that was on the brain. So she helped me name this. Dark Iron Dwarves are pretty freaking cool. I like them a lot. Just the look, this is a heritage piece there, that molten color. You see it gets in their beards and things, and the eyes. So really like them. If ever I had to choose a race from the Alliance to play, it would probably be these guys. Quite like the transmog I put together here. You're kind of spoiled for choice when it comes to like flaming stuff and metal stuff, so it was a little easier to choose items here. But I think it's really solid. I like it quite a bit. So most of this stuff is actually not the heritage. I think the heritage is just the belt, boots, gloves, and this one shoulder. But yeah, I quite like that look a lot. And transmog is important to me. It makes me want to play characters sometimes. If you look silly, less inclination to play it. But just looking at this guy, I was like, man, I want to go smack some things with this look. You pui pui. This is a Worgen Hunter. The name is based on my favorite K-pop idol, Yoo Jong-young. One of her little pet names is like Yu Pui Pui. That's the way my wife pronounces it anyway. It's just a silly thing. So, just a fun character. Again, I like the Worgen. I like the wolves, or the werewolf kind of thing. So on the screen, you can't toggle between the human form and the werewolf form, but most of the time when I'm doing the transmog here, I will do it on the human form, and then whatever the wolf form looks like, it will be. So I had some fun with this character leveling it up. The transmog is quite simple. It's mostly just the heritage stuff. Little flame here. Little halo, because why not? It's Yu Jong-young. So I made her pets in real life, my pets in the game. So these were definitely choice. She has dogs. She likes dogs quite a bit. Again, I think that's why I chose Worgen. She could switch between human and Worgen. But just a fun little character that I played quite a bit. Mort. This character I definitely played quite a bit. This is probably when I was raiding the most. It was Wrath of the Lich King expansion. So I was mainly tanking on my warrior, but Death Knights were like way better at tanking. So on those fights where like we needed to be the best, I would switch to this character and play him as a tank. So yeah, I basically had two raid geared out tank characters. So I was raiding a lot, the warrior and this death knight. But I remember having a lot of fun with it. Very different, but it was really cool. And this transmog I enjoy quite a bit as well. This is mostly the dwarf transmog. But I was able to kind of put a lot of more Rams head stuff, which for some reason I associate with like dwarves in this game, um, and kind of this hand is more gold as to go with this like heritage armor piece, which is more gold, and this axe is more red to go with this more red Ram's head kind of a deal. Um, so dwarves you can't really see too many details with the transmog, especially with this I think it's belt or I think it's the belt. There's this huge, leather piece coming out here. It covers a lot of it. So I know I made quite a few changes to it, but it looks good. I like it. I like this transmog quite a bit. March, another March. We're back to back here. This is a Death Knight. I play, or not Death Knight, a Demon Hunter when they first came out. Just kind of check it out. I remember them just being blown away at how strong they were, just tearing through things where my other characters were struggling with. I didn't do much besides level it up to max level. Like this transmog here is able to get warglaives that had purple kind of to go with the purple color I have on his markings, as well as the Knight Elf Heritage armor has kind of the purple feathers coming out in certain spots. So mostly Heritage armors here, but decent transmog for what it is. I don't have too many ideas for like Demon Hunter stuff. So happy to kind of get the heritage in there. Cheese Kimbap. So this name is based on something that my wife's favorite K-pop artist did earlier in her career. So just a little funny character. So this is the Warlock I probably got up the highest, leveling it up. Still didn't have a great time. Did it somewhat recently. But the transmog is I like quite a bit. Fun to get the greens and purples again in together. Kind of get the purple hair, which my wife's favorite artist, that's kind of her representative color. So getting some of the heritage stuff in again, like that has some purple to it. So being able to kind of blend that in together. And the staff that nicely has purple and green together. I like this little headpiece here. It's a fun one for sure. So yeah, not too much history with this one at all. Just a fun name and a fun transmog that I like quite a bit. Dakador, another one of those silly troll names that I make. Troll as in the race, not like I'm trolling somebody. This one I remember playing Mists of Pandaria as an alt. Transmog look here again is mostly the heritage stuff, but trying to get some more other troll pieces in there. It's not too different from the other one you saw before. I do like this mask though, kind of getting the four fangs out of it, and the dark blue kind of offsets some other stuff. I don't know. Kind of a funky transmog, but a character I had fun playing as Elemental Shaman blasting guys. Borf. Obviously a very silly name. We're watching a Spy Family at the time, and I like the dog that just goes Borf. So that's what that name is from. For a very dog-like race, obviously. This look, mostly heritage. I don't really remember playing it much. I've just been playing it when it's like XP boosts to get it up to get the heritage armor, basically. So not many memories for that besides that. Heritage look, mostly, the dress is not. The dress is actually like almost exactly the same color, which is nice. so I could change it up a little bit, because otherwise I was really struggling to differentiate it and making it just a heritage piece. So it's a silly little race. It is fun to kind of jump and flip around and stuff, um, but yeah, not too many memories from this character. Salamandron. I think the name is for like salamanders, like the Warhammer 40K Space Marine Legion salamanders. They're green, made of sky green. Not super impressed with the way the Evoker class plays, so I basically just got it up to get the transmog, but there isn't one. So I think I just got up to max level just to mess with it. Yeah, and you can't really transmog much, especially on this screen, because they have like as part of when you make it, this armor is just like you make it on the character select screen. You don't. It's not based on armor that you pick up in the world. So not too many memories. I don't remember having a great time with it. Yeah, just made the class to have it basically. Boltstorm, the name is from, again, Warhammer 40,000. There's a weapon. It's probably my favorite weapon. It's called the Boltstorm Gauntlet. I had a ton of fun playing this character. I did not realize how fun Enhancement Shamans had become. So this actually inspired me to make another one of my favorite race, which you'll see later. But yeah, I had a lot of fun leveling this character and quite enjoyed the transmog I made. Again, very simple, mostly just the heritage stuff. But I like how this shoulder piece kind of blends in with the others kind of decently well, especially with this like shoulder piece as if it's like attached to that strap to the shoulder pad there. These are fun gauntlets here, just because like very shaman, lightning and wind and stuff is stuff that they deal with quite a bit. I changed the pants there, which kind of subtle difference, just to change it up a little bit. But yeah, very fun character to play. And the transmog is quite fun too. Pillowy Mound, very silly name. That's from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Uncle Phil says that at some point when he's dreaming about pillowy mounds of mashed potatoes, which is a sound clip that we use to this day when we're playing together with my friends. Tauren Druid. Taurens also are kind of like Night Elves, where they're known for kind of being in tune with nature. So it's a in-universe pairing that makes a lot of sense. This transmog look again is mostly heritage. Gonna change the shoulder pad here. That might be it, honestly. Or the back piece is this is not a transmog, the little flag there. Yeah, I like the look quite a bit, but hard to kind of, the Tauren I think have a very unique look to me, so hard to put other pieces of gear that aren't actually a part of it and look somewhat cohesive. I do like this little active staff here that opens up and spreads this little pollen around occasionally. So yeah, it's a strong Tauren look because it is mostly just the heritage look, but just a silly alt. Mini Menial. I like this name quite a bit. Menials are like what in again Warhammer 40,000, like tech marines or people might call servitors, just little menials. So this is a mini menial, just a little robot dude. So transmog I did not mess with too much. Again, hard to with these people because their legs and arms are just robotic. You can't really put armor and stuff that changes that too much. So definitely change the chest piece here and this shoulder, but the rest of it is just the heritage stuff. But it's fun. It's a fun little character. Had fun running around sniping people as I leveled up as little mini menial. Kinska, another Warhammer 40,000 inspired name. There's a character named Bekwa Kinska who's important to a certain legion. This character I just played as Arcane during like the level up, or to make it easier to level up. So not too many memories aside from that. The heritage stuff is pretty cool here. You got this like mist coming off on the shoulders and stuff. So the staff I think kind of pairs nicely with that. Um, just a different set here, just to offset a little bit, make it look a little different. That way kind of pairs a little bit the gold on the staff with the shoulder piece there. And the blue is not so out of place with this kind of like bluish, purplish. But yeah, mostly the heritage look here for the transmog. Gobsmacker. I just like the term gobsmacked. So that is Gobsmacker, and he does not have a gob. His gob got smacked. So again, it's a fun look. I like that only undead have, and I like playing warriors a lot. So leveling up something to get the heritage armor, that made a lot of sense to me. I like this gigantic freaking weapons that he has. Um, Mostly heritage armor stuff here. This is not. This is the tier 2 recent re-release, but pairs in quite nicely, I think. Like carrying the big coffin on his back. But yeah, just a guy made to get the heritage stuff, and the look is mostly the heritage. But I really like that face. That's a quintessential undead to me. That's what you want there. Yeah, fun character. So that's a name I use quite a bit for female characters that I make. So priest I made to get the heritage for blood elves. Again, mostly the blood elf look here. With the dress, it's harder to make some different accent pieces, but I did that with the helm and this shoulder and this. So these are the same kind of transmog set. And I liked having the kind of the mask to bring more black out from the other parts of the armor, of the heritage armor. And this is very blood elf. It fits right in with the background right here. It's just straight out of the armor set there, basically. Yeah, just a transmog that I quite like. Didn't have to change too much with it. But not many memories aside from leveling on that character. Little Magnus, again, just made it to get the heritage transmog. So not many memories aside from leveling. Transmog is a little fun. Got some of the heritage pieces here. So you got a lot of bombs and stuff ready to go. So accordingly, I made the offhand just a little stick of dynamite. He's also ready to throw. This little mushroom piece is a kind of a good accent. Just like kind of brings in the green from his skin. And the red obviously ties in with the other pieces here. This guy's flaming, ready to go. I kind of imagine that this is what he uses to ignite all the stuff on his armor. Obviously he's a warlock, so he can just produce flame himself. But if push comes to shove, he's got a backup option there. So it's a fun little transmog. Yeah, there you go. Zoltar. So this was a mage I actually played a fair amount back in the early days. Probably Burning Crusade. I played a little bit as a fire mage. I remember having fun with that. Yeah, I probably got into some PvP as well, actually, with this character. So yeah, just fun little. The gnomes had a benefit for being mages back in the day. Probably still do. But that's why I chose this guy. But I remember having quite a bit of fun running around blasting things up as a fire mage. Transmog, mostly just heritage stuff here. I don't know why I went with the green stuff here. Maybe it's kind of tying with the helm a little better. But yeah, kind of a fun, silly little character. Probably should have made stuff a little more red, considering I associate my memories with him as being fire mage. But there you go. Two hero. Okay, so this was originally Mordecai. This was the guy I have probably played the most / played time with. Um, yeah, so played a ton of PvP with them. Obviously, I was not Grand Marshal. There was a point in time where they kind of let everyone get the weapons. Um, Back when I still think 60 was the cap, so everyone was running around Grand Marshal stuff, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, I mostly played PvP because this is before I had friends who raided and things like that. But I was still playing this game a ton. So I played PvP with this guy the most. That's why I kind of left him in this gear. So, and I guess you can't transmog this stuff. You actually have to wear the pieces because I was looking to transmog it, but they were not available. Yeah, so I definitely kept this stuff. Yeah, I didn't realize that was the case, so I think I actually sold the belt that goes with this, if there is one. That's why it looks a little silly there. This tabard, I also was kind of known for wearing that one, so that's just kind of why I kept him in that. Yeah, so lots of memories with this guy. I made a lot of friends playing on this run with this character. Mostly PvP. Eventually got into raiding. I'm pretty sure I raided on this guy as well. I had to have been. Yeah, this is definitely the one. I remember they updated like a graphics update at some point. I remember thinking this guy looked so ugly now. I'm pretty sure that the hair was very similar. I don't think I went and got this guy a haircut. So, this is kind of the updated version of that character, but it's not what I think of this character's face looking like in my memory. But yeah, lots of fun memories with this guy. Italius is a recent guy I made. I think these dwarves are pretty fun. Kind of robot dwarves, if you will. This look it's basically what I leveled this guy in. I would always transmog it to this guy. So just having a lot of green stuff poking out around, kind of the subtle green accents on the pants and stuff and the bracers, and just kind of hiding his face. I don't really care for the hair on these dwarves very much. So yeah, I very much wrapped up his head. And like the little cape here. So it seems very like, stealth. Got a couple pouches ready to assist with certain things if he needs to, with poisons or whatever in there. So kind of a simple transmog look. Had a lot of fun leveling up this character, and I used him to farm some raids for transmogs too. So yeah, fun to play. Nice having the movement speed when you're farming old raids and stuff. You run through them a little fast. This is my most recent character I've been playing the most to play through the story and stuff. As I mentioned earlier, the enhancement shaman I played earlier inspired me to play enhancement. It's been a ton of fun. My favorite race, and I like this look quite a bit. It's really getting a lot of the troll accent pieces everywhere. The skull on the back of the helm. The blue works incredibly well with the shaman because they're always calling down lightning and shooting lightning, things like that. And then the spirit wolf form is also that kind of blue color. So really happy with the look, and it plays really well. It's just having a lot of fun with this character and this look. It's mostly one set piece that is like the strong accent pieces, but the shoulder pieces are different. Just all the furs and colors kind of blending in pretty well. Really fun, really strong transmog too. And here's the top 4. I forget what they call this page. This like campsite, I think it's what's called. Yeah. So this character I played the most for a long time. This is probably my main for the past 2 expansions. As soon as Andalite Trolls came out, this is a guy I made, and this was who I was playing. I've always gravitated towards warriors. I just like that playstyle a lot. It's very nostalgic to me. Fury is a lot of fun. I and I really like this look a lot too. There's a heritage pieces are like the chest, belt, and legs there, but it blends really well with this other set for the boots, gloves, and shoulder pads. The helm is actually, there's no helm. That's just like the hairstyle with that little piece there. That blends in super well. And then these weapons also are amazingly tailored to this look with the reds and the greens kind of going with the gold there. This also is kind of like a strong Aztec slash, like troll vibe. Uh, really like this look a lot. Had a lot of fun playing this character. Yeah, we'll always make sure that this guy is max level and ready to play because yeah, just a lot of fun. Business, not really. It's just another silly like control name. It's just makes me smile. This whole character just makes me smile. Same with this name actually. I didn't talk about it. Borpheus. It's just kind of a when I'm thinking of names for like 40k and things like that. It's kind of a combination of Borf down here, um, and just kind of making it 40k-ified. Just a silly name. Actually, my wife came up with this name, so it has another level of significance to me. So it's makes me smile in that way too. Talius, that's I think the name of one of my characters in my 40k army as well. I think the Mechanicus guy probably. So that's where that name comes from. Soltar, I don't think I talked about that name. Um, that is also from C Lab. Um, just another kind of not inside joke, but something we would joke about all the time. So it's a name that my friend and I would laugh at a little bit. Little Magnus, that's, again, 40k Magnus the Red. Don't know why I made him a warlock, but kind of running out of ideas to make names. And I was just basically making a bunch of these characters to get them the heritage stuff. So not too much thought went to that guy, that name there anyway. Um, so yeah, to business, just a fun name. Blood type OP, also a funny name. Again, kind of inspired by Yu Joyoung. One of her little things she wrote was like she's blood type O prankster girl. So I just kind of turned that into blood type OP. So I always wanted to make a female troll because I think the way their stance and like their animation and stuff are cool. So I made this monk here. I think the monk transmog stuff can be pretty cool too. But this is kind of a blend of the troll heritage stuff with the recent monk tier 2 stuff they went and released. So didn't really do too much with this character at all. Just like having her on this campsite instead of just having a bunch of Sandalari trolls all over the place. If I ever got back in, I would want to try to get back into healing as a monk, and it would be her. Just this look is strong, I think, and I think it could be fun. I just have really good memories of that original monk that I healed with. Yeah, that's that character. Adornable. This is a very recent time where my friend and I made characters. We've gotten into 40k in a big way recently, so I like the Imperial Fists and Rogel Dorn. So that's the name is kind of there. Adorn a bull. It's also you can adorn a bull. A couple ways to read it. It's a fun name. Pretty happy with that name I came up with. His I think was Bullgrim. There's a character named Fulgrim. So he also made a Tauren, which is like a cow. He named it Bullgrim, and that was fun to play as. So because of the Imperial Fist kind of inspiration, I made him all gold with the sword, which is what Dorn is known for using. I like this little back piece here because it seems kind of like a company standard that you could take into war as a Space Marine. So that's kind of what that inspiration is there. So yeah, Paladins have many gold, yellow armor pieces, so kind of spoiled for choice when making a yellow paladin that's supposed to look like a yellow space marine. So that's what that guy is. Mech animal. So this was my main for a while. Just having hunters are a lot of fun. You can hit things from range. I had the little engineering item where you can just loot from afar. So when I'm farming for certain transmog pieces and stuff, you just kind of get through it as quickly as possible. So that's kind of what I use this guy for. I like the look a lot. He is a hunter, but I can kind of make it look troll shaman-ish with the helm. The green is a neat bend to it. Most shaman stuff is not green like that. So to make most things like a green color here, I liked quite a bit. Um, just kind of putting all this stuff together. So the main pet there, you can see there's a fell wolf, but I also have the ability to train mechanical pets. So the other pet is a mechanical dog that is green. So just having a little green hunter there, green being the representative color of both my chapter and Yu Joyong. So just that's kind of been my go-to color if I can choose things recently. But yeah, I didn't really do much rating or anything. Mostly this is just a solo character to get a bunch of transmogs and things like that. But it was my main for quite some time. So I had fun with that. All right, so that is running through all my characters currently. What I think I might do now is actually log in to that first character on my account. I have not logged into that character in easily over a decade. It was before the Cataclysm where they changed all the old world stuff. And I think I was like, I wasn't necessarily scared, but like where would they put him? What would like be changed within his bags or on his gear or whatever. Um, so I think it might be fun to kind of go through and see what's going on with this guy now. So let's call it 15 years later. Let's log in and see what's going on. I do not want to update my gear. I want to see what he's got. Okay. Where am I? Oh man, was I like running to do a raid or something? I don't know why I would be here. Interesting. All right, let's see what I got equipped here. Just a green? That's gotta be. I must have lost something at some point, or that item doesn't exist or something anymore. Yeah, 6 of 8. That's right. Uh, keep it. Yep, that's man. In my mind, that's epic quality. Like that was what I was going for. Maybe just because it's purple, I thought it was an epic. Um, just Cold Forge Reaper. Yep, Wall of the Dead. Yeah, remember getting that thing. I got backhands. I think I worked forever to try to get that thing. The thing was mostly like a DPS thing, and I don't know why. Uh, oh man, Arena Master. I forgot about the Stranglethorn Vale Arena stuff that we would used to do. Be up at like 2 in the morning and try to be there when no one else was to try to get that thing. You're gonna win it like 12 times or something to get something extra. This I think used to grant you like an extra hit, a chance to anyway, which is obviously good for getting threat. Because back in the day, holding threat was a harder thing to do. Beast, why am I wearing mail? What the? Oh my goodness. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, it's hilarious. Oh yeah, back when you had bandages, and potion. Yeah, I used to have ranged weapon as well. Kind of used just as a stat stick. Uh, oh, Dalren, that's right. Leather. Man, back when you'd wear different pieces, apparently. Bone slicing hatchet. I used that forever. Yeah, I got the Crusader enchantment. Yeah, good times. Carrot on a stick. Wow. Oh, forgot about that thing. Yeah, you'd equip that as your trinket slot to go faster when you're traveling between places. Wow, I had not thought about that in forever. Oh yeah, his have to put ammo too, so you have to carry around ammo for your ranged weapons. So if you're sitting there rooted or something, to try to get threat by shooting it. Um, that's funny, man. Okay, that was a trip. Well, thank you very much for listening to me and watching, and hope you have a good day. Thanks for watching.